Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the show with Mike and T. What up, T?
Hey, man.
How are you?
I'm all right, I suppose.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I had a rough start
Did
today.
you?
Yeah, I did. I was really worried.
It's not about how you start, it's how you finish.
Yeah, I feel better. I
Good.
got out of the house, ran some errands that I needed. I still need to run some more errands, but dude, I don't know what it is, but I've really struggled the last few days. Like, I've been on the couch downstairs, and I'll get really tired. And I'm like, okay, you know what, I'm going to shut it down. And it's like 11 o'clock or something. It's not that late, not that early, but, and then I go upstairs, and all of a sudden I can't fucking sleep to save my life. I don't know what's going on. It's happened like 3 times in the last, week. I was fine over at my folks' house for a couple nights. Didn't have a problem there. But here, for whatever reason, I've been upstairs, and I've shut the TV off at times. I've turned the volume down because I usually have the TV on, which I know is not great, but whatever. But I've done that for 30 years.
Sure.
So that's
That's
nothing
your thing,
new.
that's your thing.
It's my thing, exactly. It's terrible for you. I understand that, but, welcome to my world. So whatever. But yeah, dude, I don't know what it is. And I was up till 5 in the morning.
Really?
Remember the one day when I came downstairs and you left at like 5 in the morning? I was still up. I was down on the couch.
Yeah.
That kind of started it. And it's been a few times since then. So I don't know what's going on.
That was odd.
Yeah. I don't know if it's medications or I don't know. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure exactly what to do about it.
Need a
But
little melatonin in your diet,
is that what it is?
maybe.
What does my
sleep aid.
skin color have to do with anything?
That's it's an all-natural sleep aid.
Yeah. I don't know, because the doctors have given me shit, obviously with my back and stuff that's been going on for a year. They've given me everything from, pain meds and stuff, which I don't have now, but they also, some of the stuff makes me tired, the gabapentin.
Yeah.
And I've been taking that at night, but that for the first time hasn't seemed to be working. And also muscle relaxers. I've been out of those, but I can't imagine, I don't take those all the time.
Right.
So I don't imagine like I've gotten used to that. And I don't know. I don't know what the hell it's all about, but
Maybe your brain's just working overtime.
that could be. I've got a lot.
When I was a kid, that's what I used to, when I would lay down and I couldn't sleep, that's what I would tell my mom. That my mind is racing and it won't slow down.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I do get that. And I've had plenty of that going on where, I don't know, I often feel like a total piece of shit, loser, zero, all that kind of stuff. Like mentally, I've told myself that forever. And there's certain days where that fucking script is just playing on a goddamn loop in my head.
I think that would make you go to sleep.
Yeah, you would think, but no, it worries me because I think about the future. My philosophy is, well, there's no way anything gets better. Like, you start out in life as just like a fucking nothing, zero, and then you get to a certain age and you kind of get some independence, and then you have your great years, your 20s and your 30s, and then everything after that is a fucking nightmare.
You peaked.
Everything after that sucks. Everything after that is a total waste. You're just playing out time until you die. And it's like, no, there will never be a girl in my life. There will never be a kid in my life. None of that. It's that ship is long fucking sailed. So then it's like, okay, you're just gonna be alone forever. Your family's gonna die soon. Your parents will die soon. I've been blessed to have them this long, even though they're in good health. But I don't know. So it's just a constant fucking loop in my head. Like, your show's never gonna be any good. You're never gonna be any good. Like all of that shit. And it's just this negative, shitty thoughts, and I don't know what you do about that. It's just, I'm not saying it out loud. It's just in my head.
Well, you just did, though.
What?
Say it out loud.
Yeah, for the first time ever.
No, actually, you say it a lot.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. But I don't, not when I'm laying in bed.
Well, no, that would be even weirder if you were actually saying it out
Yeah.
loud as you were laying there by yourself.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's normal, if that's fucked up. Do other people feel like that, or?
Oh, I'm sure on certain levels, yeah.
Yeah, I've found out through certainly from doing this show that I'm not as original as I think in my thoughts. That a lot of people have fucked up thoughts and fucked up lives, and certainly worse than mine. And,
Sure.
all that. So I understand that, but it doesn't make my personal situation any different.
No, it doesn't change the
I only know
circumstance.
my lived experience, and so that's just the reality of it. It's sad. I understand that, but I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, you might want to work on that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, life's not quite as bad as you make it seem to be.
Yeah, it is for me.
No, but it's not, though.
Yeah, I think it is.
See, that's the fucking problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
But it's not.
But it is.
But then you want it to be. So there you go.
No, I wake up and it's like, what are you going to do? Like, what am I going to do? I'm
every
the
morning's a choice.
Yeah, but I can just drive around in circles.
Mm-hmm. What's that going to do?
Nothing.
Well,
exactly.
Go forward. Do something. I mean,
you want me to join the league?
I don't care. Whatever. I don't know what the fuck you do. Whatever the hell you want. But
yeah,
you know.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I had some sort of existence, with obviously having like Beth or something around and getting together and doing stuff, and it was like, oh, okay, I guess we're going to a fucking whatever this weekend, or we're going to a whatever. So there was always that kind of thing that now is, you're not going to do that alone.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to do that with you. That would be fucking weird. So, is what it is. And then I had some weird fucking dreams last night, man. I had some really weird dreams about Bobby.
So you did fall asleep?
At like 5. And the last time I remember being up was like 5 a.m.
Okay.
So sometime between 5 and then Cece woke me up at 8. And, yesterday was like an ice storm most of the day. So she wouldn't go outside and go potty. And so then at like 8 a.m., she had to go out and shit immediately. And so then I took her out, and she went potty, and then I finally fell asleep. Fell back asleep about 8:30 or 9 or something, and had this really fucking wild dream about Bobby, who passed away years ago. And I don't know, it was weird talking to him, and I don't know. It's just a fucking weird, me, him, and Tooch were thick as thieves for years and years and years, 20 years. And then that, just ended. And it was just this weird, I don't know where it came from. I don't know what it was about.
Well, that's the thing with dreams. You can't control it.
Yeah.
You have it's your subconscious, your psyche at work.
But it'd be one thing if it was like, oh yeah, it was his birthday and I was thinking about him all day or something like that. But it wasn't. It was just like out of the blue, something that happened between 8 and noon, because that's when I slept.
Yeah.
So I don't know, whatever. Not to vent anybody, but
I for a long, long time, I assume it's the touch of the apnea that I got there.
Yeah.
You
don't snore that bad, but I do hear you snore.
I never remember my dreams.
I went through that for a long, long, long time too.
And more recently now, I'm starting to get bits and pieces. Like, it's never vivid, and I never remember a whole the whole thing.
That's what's weird about last night's stream, because it's very, very vivid.
Yeah.
In living color. Yeah, I remember.
Great show.
Huh?
Great show.
Great show. Yeah. But yeah, I'm with you, man. I went through that. When it dreams, you want dreams to come alive, wear a fucking patch to sleep, like a nicotine patch. Next level.
Get you all fucked up.
Yeah, and people freak out about that. I look forward to it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But I love being in an altered mental state, which is wild because I don't do drugs anymore. I don't really drink much at all anymore. But I do love being in an altered state, and it's probably because of the way I feel about myself in a lot of respects. That just being somewhat fucked up is better than the reality of like fuck your own existence. So yeah, the patch, but man, it's wild, and I didn't like the feeling of waking up wanting a cigarette. And so it was like, fuck it, I'm gonna wear it all night. But they say on the box, like, man,
don't do it.
You could have some fucking mushroom level dreams.
All right.
And so I'm like, fuck it, I'm going balls out. Like I remember going in to the dentist, and I would always ask for the gas, and because I had this one like Dr. Feelgood dentist, and he would turn on the gas, and I'd be like, nah, I don't really feel it, and he'd be like, all right, and he'd crank that thing up, and I'd go fucking full on. Eyes behind your head, fucking do whatever you want. You want to rape me? You want to finger my butt? You want to fucking rip all my teeth out of my head? Knock yourself out. I'm in La La Land.
How about we just give you the filling?
Yeah. But it's like, no, don't stop. Keep drilling. Just keep going. And you are gone. And at times, early on, I'd be like, hey, man, can you turn that down a little bit? I can really feel it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to lean hard into this, and I'm just going to see where I go. It's kind of like a mushroom buzz, too. And I'm like, just don't say anything and just see where this thing fucking goes. And it was like, oh, that's even better. Oh, it's even better. Now I get pissed when I go to the dentist, and they're like, Because most of them don't do the gas.
They reeled
anymore.
that back in too. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're
Fun
like
governors.
But most of them that I've gone to, they're like, I think we have one in the fucking garage somewhere. I guess we could wheel it out and charge us $25 for it. I'm like, yes, bring it out every fucking time, and then I'll just fucking
put my name on it.
Focus on that.
Save it for me when I come back.
Yeah, I'll be back, and I want the fucking gas, bigly. But yeah, you can get deep in the weeds on that stuff, which is fine. And I would recommend everybody just lean into that. If you get to that place where it's over the wah, and you're fucking rolled back in your existence,
Give it another minute.
yeah, lean into that. Don't fucking shy away from it. You're not gonna die.
Sure.
No one's died from fucking laughing gas. Lean into it hard.
Is that what the like all these videos of the kids coming out of dental surgery and shit? Is that off the gas? Like
Probably, but that's weird because usually when they turn that off, I know immediately, and it's like, oh man, just give me 5 more minutes, you know. But I'm a junkie, so I get it. But yeah, when you see the kid and they're just like, meh.
Yeah,
that's
like,
more
well,
like
I can't suck dick. That one, the girl, like I can't smoke. I can't suck. Like no, you can't suck it. I can't suck dick. Mom's like, Jesus, Carolyn.
I think that's more anesthesia coming out of surgery.
All right, yeah.
So, like, I remember Beth and I once went to, my dad had a surgery for his cancer, and we went to the hospital. I think I've told this before. I'm sure I have. And he's laying in the bed, and he's like, you know, black jelly beans make your poop black. And it was just like something my dad would never, ever say out loud. Like, he's just not that dude. I might say something like that.
Yeah. Inhibitions are lowered.
Yeah, and he doesn't get fucked up. He's never done drugs, never had a cigarette, he doesn't really drink. So it's very rare to see him out of it, like coming out of anesthesia. I think that's probably what those kids are doing is more than laughing gas, because that shuts off, and it might make you cloudy for a little bit. Because I've done that where it's like, probably not safe to be driving home right now for like 15, 20 minutes, and you're just kind of, little slow on the reaction, but...
Sure.
But it wouldn't make you do that. I can't suck dicks, like those kids crying.
Yeah.
That's got to be some sort of dental, like,
Good to know.
surgical procedure.
All right.
You know? Yeah.
Just checking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to go to the dentist with you next time and record it.
Oh, yeah. No. You won't see any of that. No. And plus, I'm a fucking legit pro. I know how to handle my buzz usually.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, mushrooms I haven't dialed in that much. You know,
Another one you got to lean into. You gotta let go.
The first time I ever did it, you gave me some. We were at Adidas on the lake, and you gave me some when I left. And I tried them. I'd never done them before in my life, and I was alone. And I didn't feel shit, and I told you that. And then shortly after that, you'd moved in here, and you were like, I got some shrooms, you know, you wanna do them? And I was like, sure. I didn't have any fun, you know, I didn't feel it. And you were like, okay. And we fucking got...
Giggly.
Like, dude, if I could bottle that buzz, it's the greatest feeling in the history of man. It was the greatest night of my life. Like, no other drug I've ever done felt like that. It blew out of the... I think I was drinking that night. It fucking blew everything out of the water. And was like, I just remember over and over saying, oh man, you so undersold this buzz. But now I've learned that buzz is like not always the case.
Well, it's a very it depends on your mindset, and if you're chasing it, you're already in the wrong mindset.
Yeah,
you know that's the difference. Like,
yeah,
the first time you didn't know what was coming, so it just hit you, and then I don't know. And it's timing. There's so many other factors involved in it. Like, that was just the perfect storm.
And maybe you're right. Obviously, you know more about this than I do. I never did, like, when we were younger, we had some older friends who would organize these, like, canoe trips, and everyone would go out to the woods, and they'd all fucking shroom hard. And we'd be on a bus. They'd rent a bus, and we'd go out and we'd just spend the night. It was like a camping thing.
Joe's annual canoe extravaganza.
Exactly. And we would go out there, and they would shroom, and I never would. I never would. Like, you guys would all boom. There'd be 50 fucking people, 100 people, all fucking booming.
Hell yeah.
And then there'd be one person that would flip out, have a fucking freak out, and there'd be 3 people trying to calm them down and fucking, you know, that. And the other people would be just fine. but everybody be drinking, and I was just fine with that. This is in the Busch Light days. And so I was just fine drinking beers. And I never felt excluded. I never felt different. Nobody ever fucked with me. For whatever reason, I just didn't feel comfortable with it, you know?
Sure.
Other drugs I was fine with, but that one I saw people like flip out. I never flipped out on oxys. I never flipped out on blow.
Yeah.
So it was like, I don't know what's up with this acid and shrooms. You know what I mean? Like it felt like against all your best wishes, you could end up at a place you didn't want to end up. And I worried, because my mind's always been fucking with me, like, okay, it sounds like you can talk yourself into a bad trip. And my fear was the minute you start chewing them, I'm going to go, whatever you do, don't have a bad trip.
Yep.
Whatever you do, don't have a bad
Exactly
trip.
right.
And then you're going to walk right into it.
Yep.
And so that kept me away for years and years and years. I just didn't, you know.
Yeah.
But then that night, I'll never forget it. It's
Yeah.
great.
Well, it was you were at home. It was comfortable. It was you and I. You know what I mean? So
I probably felt a level of comfort with you there.
Of course. Sure.
Being more of a veteran, you know,
Yeah.
of psychedelics and shit. Yeah.
I want to try DMT.
I want to try ayahuasca.
Yeah, that's I mean, that's like, you know, clear your schedule. Like that's
When you go out of the country. Like I'd want to do it right.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
fly
yeah.
and do that whole thing for a week.
But DMT is like short. It's like super, super, super intense, but like 15 or 20 minutes from what and then
Oh, really?
and then you're out of it. But you go like and
Pardon the
there's-
paint.
Yeah, but there's this weird some of the stuff I've been seeing that they're starting to like do clinical tests or what do you try? You know what I mean? Whatever.
Yeah, they're
like,
doing that a lot with a lot of psychedelics.
Yeah,
The
well,
microdosing and stuff.
Yeah, they're using psilocybin stuff for
Right.
PTSD and depression and stuff like that. But with this DMT, they've noticed that all these people, individual random people, are having this very similar experiences, and they're encountering this same like figure, this entity, whatever it is. And
Like
so whatever.
like that tall man in the woods.
Something like
Like,
that.
really?
Whatever it is. I don't and I mean like they're coming out and they're like having people do like rough sketches, like drawings, and they're starting to see all these similarities in this stuff. So there's a
Slender Man.
yeah,
That's what I'm thinking.
yeah. But something like that, so that they're seeing all these crazy similarities, and that there's some correlation there that they can't really figure out.
And this is DMT.
yeah, and I'm almost positive. And so now they're, but
Is
it's
that a drink, a smoke? What is?
I'm not even sure, to be honest
Yeah.
with you. I just know and have heard of it. But
Right.
they're starting to do it in like a controlled environment as like a slow drip IV type thing where they can prolong it more.
Right.
Instead of it being like 15 minutes, they're getting it to like 30, 45 minutes.
Right.
And supposedly what they're starting to be able to almost map out this other world. From all
Wow.
these people like having these similar experiences, and they're starting to piece all this stuff together. And now that
Jeez.
they're getting people to stay in there longer, they're getting more and more detailed, and people are able to go a little bit farther into this realm, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And just the fact that there's all these similarities is
That's wild.
intriguing to me, because
Like-
you think if it's just your own head,
Yeah.
everybody's going to be unique.
And you would like mushrooms. You're gonna see trails and vivid colors, schemes. Like that's gonna be a universal. Anybody that's kind of having that trip. Now I've never had a bad one, so I've had none. I've had a none trip, but I don't. So I don't know what that would look like. But that's crazy.
Yeah.
To kind of map out.
Yeah, that there's almost like this parallel universe, or this underworld realm, whatever it would be.
Yeah.
That they're starting to, like I said, that's what they call it, is mapping it out.
Well, I know doctors are doing a lot of research into it, and it's, I wouldn't have thought, you know, I understand marijuana. You know, you've got the 60s drug craze, you know, what do they call that? You know, to scare everybody into like, oh my God, you're going to lose your mind if you're doing smoking
the whole,
marijuana.
what was that? Madness.
Madness, yeah. Reefer madness.
Reefer madness.
Yeah. So I understand that all falling apart, and it has. It's fallen apart. Now you're seeing it legal in other places. But I didn't expect the wall to come down so quick on like psilocybin mushrooms.
Yeah.
And the research, like Derek would text me from time to time. You know, he's a scientist, and he would talk about research that they're doing at U of M on this kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
And looking into it. And it's like, wow, the walls are really coming down quick. And I don't know, it'll be in our lifetime for sure.
Yeah, well, it's already like decriminalized in certain places, and
Right.
and it's being used, you know, medically in certain circumstances and in controlled environments.
Yeah.
I mean, ketamine's being used in
Yeah.
you know, therapy, type
Yep.
environments.
Yeah, extreme depressions and stuff like that.
But even with that,
A lot of stuff too for getting people, and I don't know if it's ketamine. I think it is, but I know like microdosing with a lot of those things, and there's myriad versions of these things that are really helping with extreme, drug abuse
yep,
that people are finding tons of relief in. And believe me, as someone who's gone through like as hardcore of that shit as you can,
Yeah.
where you're dealing with months and months and months and months of absolute fucking unraveling, right? Mentally, physically, everything. Fuck off, leave me alone. I just want to die. Fuck off for months and months and months and months and months. You can't even explain how awful an existence that is. And coming out of that is a fucking nightmare. And it was for a very, very long time, early in the history of this, Radio for One Studios and doing a show down here. Those early days were really fucking bad for me. I'll never forget it. It's terrifying still to think about. And to think that they're making advances like where you can go in and kind of help yourself get through that.
Yeah,
Because
sure.
how people don't fucking put a bullet in their head more often, I don't know.
well, yeah, it's just, I mean, like you gotta somehow unfuck your brain.
Yeah.
And if that's a way to, take it out, blow it, and put it back in, and,
Like a Nintendo cartridge.
yeah, I can unplug it and plug it back in. If there's a way to sort of reset it or
Yeah.
recalibrate it,
Yeah.
sure. Like the DMT, that's why because like your body normally makes it DMT. It's
Right.
so that's why
We
there's
all
no-
have it in us.
right. And
Yeah.
so the reaction to it, that's why it's short, and you come out of it, clean, no hangover, no residual effects, anything like that. And that's always been my thing with weed, mushrooms, that kind of stuff. Anything that's why I've always had a problem with it being regulated.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Anything that's manufactured or manipulated, okay, then that's different. But anything that was here before us,
Yeah.
who the fuck are you?
Dude, I was listening to, not to cut you off, but I was listening to Rogan, an older episode he did with Be Real, and they were talking about, and Joe had asked, his producer, Jamie, like, do we know historically, like mushrooms, for instance, 'cause it's grown in nature, and we all know, we see it here. It rains one day, and all of a sudden you've got fucking mushrooms 4 inches long. They grow immediately. And they dated it back like 6,000 years.
Yeah.
Like 6,000 years.
It's a fungus.
Yeah, people have been fucking eating that shit and tripping balls.
Sure. Exactly. I mean, that's so. You get in like acid is different. I mean, that's a chemical that's man-made,
And you never know who's
you
doing
never
what.
know right, exactly.
Which is why government regulation would be good in a lot of those respects, where you know what's in, so you're not getting fentanyl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or not that I don't think fentanyl's in acid, but
No.
you don't know what's in there.
Who knows?
When
It's-
you've got
it's in
some
everything
fucking
now, so who knows?
Yeah. But you don't know what's in those tabs, man. I mean, when you're talking Woodstock, don't take the brown acid, man.
Yeah.
Shit like that. It's because fucking dumb humans, some stoner
Exactly.
is making it,
Yeah.
Where
Just shit on a fucking tab of blotter paper and sold them. Who knows?
right. And you could see where
shit, man. Try it.
we could all agree and get behind like, hey man, for all the people like my body, my choice, yeah, okay, I get it. My body, my choice. Get out of it, government. Unless you want to regulate shit. Now, that doesn't mean that you can be an asshole and go get blotto and drive around.
Yeah, that's a different story.
Totally different story.
Yep.
We can all agree with that. We've all made mistakes, but, that doesn't change that. But if I'm sitting in my house, minding my own damn business,
Victimless crime, my man.
there you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyways, I wasn't planning on starting the show like
No,
this.
all right. Well, yeah, there we go. Killed a half hour.
Yeah, almost. Hey, we spent quite a bit of time. You know, I should probably get one of these out of the way
Yeah, let's pay some
first.
bills.
The crew at Zott Ford and Holly is jonesing to help you get a brand new Ford, all while delivering exceptional details. God, how many days in a row am I going to fucking say that? Delivering exceptional deals and a world-class experience. Right now, lease a new loaded 22 Ford F-150 Super Crew XLT 4x4 as low as $292 for just 24 months, or lease a new jammed-up 22 Ford Explorer XLT four-wheel drive as low as $333, also 24 short months. Plus, if you tell your friends at Zott Ford, they'll kick in $500 worth of accessories and no additional charge with your new F-150. And Zott Ford is still paying $2,000 over your appraised value when you lease or buy a new Ford Escape, Edge, or Explorer, but only if you know the name of Etard's favorite furry little critter. Finally, Gabarra and the team are still going nuts and offering 0% financing on lots of new in-stock vehicles. So go check out their voluptuous inventory and dazzling deals at dealsinthed.com. Also, radiofor1.com, of course. Please go there, get yourself some merch, sweatshirts, hats, winter beanies, more coming, I promise. Amazon link is there, Amazon Canada, Groupon, MyPillow. Just use promo code TDC, shop as normal. Obviously, none of these things charge you more money for using it. They just give us a small kickback. Also, a link to our Patreon page, and we encourage people, please, to help us out that way. It's the best way to support this show. If you can afford $5 a month, it helps. $10 a month helps. We know people come and go. So every if you think, what does my $5 mean? What does my $10 mean? Whatever you can afford, it's very helpful to us. So please, we added 2.5, 3 hours of new content just the other day, and we'll add more this week as well. And send us emails. We got quite a few emails yesterday. The debate about strawberries and whipped cream.
How'd that go?
Will be handled later. We'll get into it
Okay.
later.
Okay,
It doesn't matter.
Sure. Okay.
It's irrelevant.
Fair enough. No,
really,
it's
it's irrelevant.
Well, that's good. I'm glad people chimed in so we can get some answers on
Couple
this.
people, dumb people did. Say that.
Okay.
Walters at DetroitCast.com. If you'd like your voice to be heard, and we love hearing from you, so we'll get into that. One thing we spent quite a bit of time on yesterday, T, if you'll remember, is the 6'6", 270-pound small forward.
Yeah.
At the Florida high school, was it Palm Coast?
Home Coast, I believe, yeah.
Which sounds absolutely wonderful.
Lovely area.
Did we decide that was just southeast of Jacksonville?
It's, just south. Yeah, I don't think you're not going to get a whole lot more east
Than
I don't
Jacksonville.
think. Yeah, that you're already on the coast. So
Yeah.
we'll go due south.
Okay. But in that northeast Florida
That's correct.
area. So the kid got into a fight, kicked the dog shit out of this woman.
His teacher,
Yeah.
she took his Nintendo Switch away.
Yeah,
which
bad
he was
move.
probably playing in class.
Yeah. I wonder if she still feels like it was worth it. Like, you know what? I got to put my foot down here.
I mean, listen, you got to draw the line somewhere.
Yeah.
And so good for her for standing her ground.
Yeah.
I'm sure she probably has some regrets, but overall, I
don't know
think
if
she can rest on her laurels that she did the right thing.
Well, there was a GoFundMe set up. There's been two. So the first one made $10,000,
All right.
which is outrageously low.
Was
I mean,
there-
shit, we've made more than $10,000 in a fucking
Yeah.
you know,
That was
something
for
like
what?
that.
For her, for her medical bills, or for him for a new Switch?
right for her.
Oh, okay.
Now they're mentioning it in the articles I'm reading today. So my guess is more people watch that video, that will go up. I wouldn't be surprised at all if GoFundMe took it down for some reason. She's a white woman and it's a black kid that kicked the dog shit out of her.
Well, I think that one's probably going to be just fine.
Maybe I'm always surprised at what gets taken down for whatever reason. So
True.
they are naming this kid now. Brendan Deppa, 17, can be named for the first time.
Oh, surprising, being a minor. That
Well-
they would do that. Although if they're charging him as an adult,
Exactly.
does that make a difference? Well, I don't. Even if they decide to charge him as an adult, he's still a minor. So
Is that true across the country that 17 is a minor?
I don't know. I mean, I guess now you can. I mean, I think you can fuck at 16 in some states. So
Yeah, I
probably
think you could fuck younger than that in some states even.
so maybe not. And if it was if anywhere, it would probably be Florida.
Yeah.
14's probably an adult in Florida.
You get married at 14.
Yeah.
So they've ruled that he would be transferred to an adult court. He can be named for the first time after the 7th Judicial Court of Florida ruled he would be transferred to adult court. He's currently being held on $1 million bond. Good. I know he said he's got better things to do than go to jail.
Yeah, well.
Should have thought of that before kicking the dog shit out of his teacher. Although they keep saying teacher assistant.
Doesn't matter. It could have been a lunch lady. It doesn't
No.
matter.
I know, but is it weird? She's 57. And she's been there since like 04.
Okay.
Doesn't teaching assistant seem like a young kid's game? And that at 57 you'd be a full-blown teacher? Maybe I'm just getting in the weeds on
probably
on something.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's a class where they have a tag team situation going on. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, her tag team partner let her down big time.
Maybe she's the vice teacher.
Yeah. So he is facing aggravated battery charge, a felony, after attacking Joan Nadich. There's sir. Can you see the picture there?
Okay, yeah. How do you spell that?
Naydich.
Okay.
Joan. You know how to spell that.
Yeah. I had that part.
They described her as a humble.
It's not 10 grand anymore.
No?
No, she's up over 60 now.
Yeah. Okay.
And I only see one of them.
Yeah, that's probably the second one. So the first one probably shut down at 10 grand. Could have been early on, and only people very, very local to the story probably were involved.
Right.
When you start having this go, not only national, but international press, picking it up, that's going to get a lot of coverage. They describe her as a very humble mother of two. And Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley said this could have been a homicide. Agreed.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I mean, the way well, that's the thing. I always have issues with that on some degree. You know, like if you punch a guy, and he falls, hits his head, and dies.
Yeah,
fuck
you.
Well, no, I get it. But I mean, and that now it's murder. Yeah, I understand he died.
Yeah.
But if you punch a guy and he gets up and swings back, it's not. Your act didn't change. The result did.
Well,
so you did the same.
Don't you think circumstances matter, though? If you're in a fist fight with someone.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying.
That's different than coming up from behind and just cracking some guy. Or cold cocking someone at a bar and they just go down.
Well, sure, exactly. But the difference, like, I could punch somebody and nothing happens, and nothing happens. I mean, I don't even get assault charges on it.
Right.
I could punch a guy and he falls and hits his head and dies, and it's murder.
Yeah.
But all I did was punch a guy.
Well, it wouldn't be quite murder, but yeah, I know what you mean. It'd be, it'd be felony assault at minimum, and it'd be manslaughter, on some level.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
In the weeds. But
right. But you're talking 12 years versus life.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like there is a difference. But, I don't want a society that's running around having people punched to the point of unconscious, hitting their head on the cement.
No.
Like, dude, you have to understand, not you, but people need to understand you can absolutely end your life in one stupid decision over some guy fucking stepped on your shoe, someone fucking hit on your girl at the bar, someone spilled a drink on you, and you're going to act like that. You're going to be so out of control. And luckily, our friends were not like that.
No.
But I do remember being up at U of M one time at a party, and some guy reached over, don't know him, but it was one of those where guys in their early 20s puffing their chests up, and reached over one of, a group of guys and a group of guys, us over here and these guys over here. Someone reached across someone and cracked one of our buddies in the face, out cold. I called him a glass jaw ever since. I mean, he's a tough fucking kid.
Yeah.
Not someone people would want to fuck with. Definitely a tough kid. Didn't see it coming and caught one square. Luckily, it was in the front yard of someone's house in an Ann Arbor neighborhood, and he just went back into the bushes. But,
But now, exactly. That same situation, had he died.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, someone would be facing fucking multiple years in prison for that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep.
And I really don't have a problem with that. The other thing that can't be discounted is you're a 6'6", 270-pound male taking on a fucking 56-year-old woman. Go fuck yourself, man.
Oh, of course.
Where are you in society that's not even brought up?
It's
not even brought up. And I don't know if there's something. I know we're trying to make all genders one, and there's no difference between men and women, and blah blah blah. And I see it a lot playing out in movies, TV shows, where guys frequently are taking on girls, and girls are holding their own. They're kicking ass. They're fucking superheroes, and that's fine in a Hollywood movie. But I don't know, man. I don't like to be one of those people like, music and video games are influencing the youth. Like, I don't want to be that guy. At the same time, there has to be some sort of effect when it's like, oh, yeah, it's just commonplace to see a guy taking on a girl and a girl kicking a guy's ass on a TV show or a movie. That has to...
Giving them a false sense of security.
Right. Because by and large, there's probably 1% of girls nationwide who can hold their own and could knock us both out.
Oh, yeah.
Beth is much faster and stronger than me. I'll kick the dog shit out of her.
Yep.
Period. I will whoop her fucking ass. You go to...
You better do it within like the first 30 seconds.
Yeah, but in the first
alone.
30 seconds, I will knock her the fuck out. Period.
Yep.
Period. And if she wants to test me on that, bring it on. It's just the reality. I've got 100 fucking pounds on her, and I have more muscle mass. She might have more muscle, but I have more, inherent fucking shoulder width and fucking muscle strength. I'm going to fucking hurt her. You're going to hurt any girl you face.
Yeah. I mean,
now, there's
Ronda Rousey,
right.
Sure, would kick my ass.
Sure.
A trained fighter, somebody like that. But just in the...
But if you got a hold of Ronda Rousey, don't you think with 100 pounds on her, you could probably do some fucking damage to her too?
Not with the fucking jujitsu, man.
Yeah, probably.
No, not right. the training that they have.
But if you got a hold of her, it'd be ugly.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
it'd be ugly.
She'd know I was there for a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, but
now me, different story. But dude, you're 6'3", 250. Right? You're a big boy.
But you're talking about such an anomaly. I mean, that's somebody that's trained to fight. And you put a trained fighter woman against a trained fighter male, and it's not even close.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
Yeah.
So you're talking about, apples to oranges in a way.
Right.
So, yeah, are there some? Yes. But that's so few and far between.
Right.
But those are trained fighters.
Right.
But just generally, any man to any woman for the most part.
Yeah.
Of course.
I think we established a long time ago. Do you remember what was Jersey Shore? Remember that stupid show? And you had, what was her fucking name?
Snooki?
Snooki. Thank you. I knew you'd know the name.
JWoww?
Snooki was in a bar, and some guy just fucking cracked her. Knocked her the fuck out, or knocked her down hard. And the discussion for us in morning radio was like, how dare a guy with that kind of size and reach hit a woman? Now, you couldn't get more annoying than Snooki. Right? If anyone at that time, and Snooki's just fine.
Yeah. And theoretically, if anybody deserved to get punched, it was
probably Snooki.
But
yes,
that doesn't mean that you can or should.
And that was what the discussion was. And it was like overwhelmingly, like, there's nothing a girl can do to deserve to be cracked at a bar by a fucking full-grown man.
Well, I wouldn't say nothing.
I'm talking about when that happened at that time.
To her, yes.
Now, girl pulls a gun on you, stabs you with a knife, fucking
yes.
Smashes a glass in your face. But if a girl comes up from behind and pushes you, and you turn around and you go, you laid hands on me, that's assault. I can fucking return the favor, and you fucking knock her out? No, dude, no. You can legally probably go, yeah, well, I was assaulted.
Yeah.
She had it coming, but we all know.
Yeah, I was kind of equated to match the level of aggression. If it's yelling, you never take it to a next level.
So if a girl slaps you can fucking.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Slap her back.
Yeah, fuck yeah. A little open hand. Give me a little slap.
Yeah, I don't think I could. I don't think I could. But
it's not. I'm just saying. And if a girl slaps me, my point was that I'm not going to just close fist knock her the fuck out.
Yeah.
I might give her a little slap back and be like, okay.
Yeah.
And even if she punches me, I'm not just going to start wailing on her necessarily. But if I'm also just not going to stand there and let her beat the shit out of me.
Yeah, but you can get a hold of someone. You grab a girl's arms and hold her, which I've seen happen.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I'm just saying that I would never be the escalator.
Yeah. So anyways, he is known. I don't want to spend too much time on this because we broke it down, quite nicely yesterday. But He could face up to 30 years in this for the first-degree felony. He's been ordered not to contact the teaching assistant by the court.
I mean, just an assault is 30 years?
For that, yeah.
I mean, what was the actual charge on that? It's because it's just one charge, too, isn't it? It's not like it's not multiple counts.
Third time he's been charged since 2019.
Do they have a three-strike rule in Florida?
Well, this would be a fourth strike. But, he's just shy of 18 by a few months, right?
But still, I mean, I would think
office,
you still have you can't deviate from the sentences that are put forward for crime. I mean, there's
levels, and every state has different rules on the books. I thought this was weird. I'll read it to you. According to the state's attorney's office, Depa did actually and intentionally touch or strike the victim against the will of her, and in doing so used a deadly weapon and or intentionally or knowingly caused great bodily harm, permanent disability, or permanent disfigurement.
What's the deadly weapon? His hand?
Probably. I mean, I didn't see him come at her with anything. No. I mean, unless he whipped the switch at her in the classroom.
Right.
Stunned her. This student is 6 months shy of 18, and was also a brutal attack on this teacher. Fortunately, this didn't result in fatality. This could be a homicide. She's been released from the hospital, recovering at home. She had a daughter who graduated there in 2013. She's worked there since 2004 in the county schools. She's been at Matanzas High School since 2021. So this says a GoFundMe raised nearly $60,000.
Oh yeah, that was one I looked at.
Yeah, I thought it only announced the $10,000 one. She hits the ground head first, rendering her unconscious. Then he immediately starts kicking her, kneeling her. We broke that down nicely yesterday.
Yeah.
It takes 5 staff members to restrain and drag him away from her body. I don't think those were staff members.
I'm not sure. I saw only the chick in the blue shirt, that the unknown, number 3 in the draft, I think, was the
What about the valet?
Member. Valet, I don't.
Might have been a teacher. He looked like a
still look young.
teacher.
Still look young. I'm not sure. Fucking Rotzi. Better not. I mean, the only even
Rotzi's a student.
Had to be, unless he was staff members. Come on, get your shit together.
This I found interesting too. There used to be a school dedicated to troubled teens in Flagler County for kids who struggled to function in a traditional environment, classroom-wise. That included those who had been convicted of a crime or were considered too violent to attend classes on traditional campus. But
that's got to be a good time.
Yeah.
Just a day in the life at that school.
Yeah. Well, that school doesn't exist anymore because the voters failed to pass this. There was a property tax levy to pay for the school back in 2013. And they wanted an additional 50-cent property tax per county resident. And they were like, too rich for our blood. Nope. And so they're like, all right, well, let's put these fucking multiple violent offenders in the school with your kids.
All right. Well, yeah. You might want to put that one back on the books. Let's try and get that millage passed. Let's see. Have this be your campaign ad.
Exactly. For the new millage.
Is this worth 50 cents to you?
Sheriff Staley added, we had a resource officer assigned to that mini school, if you will, and that's been eliminated. Maybe this is something the district should look at again. Yeah. And again, like I said, he had 3 in 2019. 3.
All in the same year.
Yeah.
So that's a troubled soul. You know, you got to look deeper into that.
Yep.
There's some issues going on there.
Yeah.
Not sure that's ever going to be a well-adjusted member of society.
Yeah. And I don't know. Unfortunately, there are not many individuals in society who are 6'6", 270. And usually when, if someone has Muay Thai or karate background, they're trained very, very early on to avoid, understand your strength, understand the advantage you have, and it makes you calmer. It makes you not puff up. You don't feel the need to show what a tough ass you are. Yep. You would never go to some tiny little guy and puff up. You just, that you understand your size and what that comes with. Doesn't mean you can't be pushed too far. But someone like this clearly doesn't understand or have any respect for the fact that he's a 6'6", 270-pound male, that there's nothing a teacher could do or say to you a grade she could give you, a switch she could take from you that would justify,
No.
and you wanted to kill her. And God knows if that was after school, if that was something where those halls were bare,
Yeah, and nobody stopped him.
and nobody stopped them at all,
that definitely would have been a lot worse, and
very likely a homicide.
very possible.
Yeah.
Because he was had moved from the back to the head with those blows when they finally moved in.
Yeah.
When fucking Gomer Pyle decided to actually take action.
Yeah, and ICP, don't forget the Juggalo. When the Juggalo came in and got him off, he was still dropping heel kicks on her.
Yeah, but she didn't really get him off of him.
Well, okay, we're not
going to get into it. I'm just saying.
The Juggalo did what the Juggalo could.
She intervened,
she Juggalo.
but it's not like she came in and. By the way, Juggalette.
Oh, Juggalette.
Yes.
Okay.
But it's not like she came in and was like, "Get off her," and just chucked homeboy. No,
Yeah.
no. She was like, and then went and checked on.
She did more than most of the guys.
Very true.
Give her a lot of credit
Very
for
true.
that. Yeah. So we'll follow that case, see where that goes. If this was in California and it was George Gascon, if this was in Los Angeles versus, Flagler County or whatever in Florida,
He'd be plead out already.
right, he'd be back in school already. They'd probably suspend the teacher for driving this poor boy to this.
Why would you take his switch?
Yeah. What did you think would happen when you took his switch?
They'd charge her with theft.
Exactly. And they'd cancel the GoFundMe. They'd give all the money to the kid.
Right.
So yeah, thank God it's in Florida. We'll see how this plays out. My guess is, if he gets the max 30 years, he'll do 8. But still, 8 years in prison. I don't think he's going to like that. He's got better shit to do, as he said.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, clearly this dude already has problems.
Yeah.
The control issues, mental issues, whatever is going on, home issues.
Yeah.
There's definitely something going on there. So now let's take this 17-year-old kid and stick him, best case scenario, in prison for 8 years.
Yeah.
How do you think he's coming out of there?
Not good.
Rehabilitated, well-adjusted,
No.
ready to
No,
make something out of his life?
He'll be a nightmare.
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
It ruins you.
Yeah, of course.
The system's broken.
Yeah.
Hey, insurance. We all have it, and most of us don't know what kind of coverage we have or who even provides it. Let fellow TDC listener Brent Wasick from Wasick Insurance Services change that. Brent has over 30 years in the business and offers all types of insurance coverage: auto, home, health, life, business, commercial, and more. So call Brent Wasick at 734-455-1900 and get a free no-obligation quote today. Again, that's 734-455-1900 and ask for Brent Wasick at Wasick Insurance.
Got an interesting story, and I did a little research on it. I want to run some stuff by you. An unnamed woman has revealed that she started fucking her cousin,
Okay.
or fucked her cousin.
Okay. Well,
Family reunion event.
you have to start fucking your cousin to fuck your cousin. So
Well,
both are
I
true.
don't know that it's continued on, or if it was just like a one-time thing at a family reunion.
Okay.
After years of sexual tension,
Sure.
okay?
Yeah.
And now claims she needs him in her life. The anonymous poster said that after her father had died, when she was a child, she'd barely seen his side of the family, including her uncle or cousin. She had felt massive sexual tension with her relative since she was 16.
Okay.
I wish to God there was a picture of her. Like, it would go a long way and like,
Yeah. This one might be better left to the imagination.
well, the picture they used, the stock image, it was like, oh yeah, I'd fuck my cousin too. Like, yeah. So would you? I mean, you'd be lying if you said you wouldn't.
Okay.
But that was just the stock image they used, which has
course.
my brain going overdrive.
Yeah, they did that on purpose.
She shared her story with OK Magazine, explaining, I don't know what I want from him, but I feel like I need him in my life. I don't know if I'm mentally stable enough for the fallout it might cause if anyone found out what we did, though. She revealed she had slept with a cousin recently, explaining that while he was her father's brother's son, her family was not close at all. My father passed away when I was little. I didn't see that side of the family unless it was a big family wedding or funeral. Her cousin admitted he felt the same, and the two fucked immediately. She added that she is now unsure about what she wants, but wants to keep him in her life. She fears there could be fallout if other members of the family heard of what happened between them. She asked the columnist for her opinion. So she's looking for...
It's like a Dear Abby type of thing.
Yes. And she's looking for the columnist to go, no big deal. Have at it. Take the guilt and shame away from me.
Sure.
Tell me it's okay to fuck this guy is basically what she's looking for. Let's be honest. She asked for the columnist opinion, adding she wants to know what other people think of her story. And she can't be the only one in the situation. The columnist said that the person was not weird for having sexual urges towards her cousin, but should seek a therapist to explore where her desire to be with him stemmed from. He's probably hot.
Yeah. There's
right?
There's
Like,
just that physical attraction. Yeah.
And you could see if you don't see someone very often. Like I don't see my cousins very often.
Right.
Like my family was
they're
spread
essentially
out
a
all
stranger.
over.
I mean, there's a bloodline. But,
Yeah.
But essentially, they're still just a stranger.
My family is either in Chicago, right?
Yeah.
Idaho or California. And so, I have cousins, but and I saw them when I was young, and we matched up in age, like me, my brother and sister, with, my aunt and uncle in Chicago, had 3 daughters, and we matched up in age, and, we hung out when we were little, living with our parents and stuff, and occasionally we'd spend Christmas in Chicago with them, they'd spend it here, but,
Never once you start getting boners.
No, but we would go to Lake Winnipesaukee. Our grandparents had a cabin or whatever there on the lake. And so we'd meet there in the summers. But we were 12, 13 maybe.
Right.
But after that, it was kind of like, nah, I'm not hanging out with my family anymore. So, so I just didn't see him that much. So I could see where, now that would be really weird.
Yeah.
Because I saw them enough
Right.
growing up to know what Linda looks like and Julie and Lisa and you know what I mean? Like, Jennifer.
I mean, if you've never, if you've never seen them, and then it's just at the funeral, and you look over and you're like, dude, look at that chick, man.
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
check her out. Like, who the fuck is that? And
I hope someone brought that as emotional support.
And then, and she's like, God damn, who the fuck is that?
That's your Uncle Roy's daughter.
Right?
Fuck.
Yeah.
I know.
But at that
I know.
point,
Jesus had a rager for his cousin. He had a cousin, not Holy. I think he wanted to bang Holy too, but there was one cousin that
whatever
he
happened
had,
to Holy?
I don't know. We accused him of murder with her. I don't know. He's coming in a couple days, so we'll ask we could ask him for an update on Holy. I think he ate like Thanksgiving. Yeah, I needed to finish that sentence way faster.
Punctuation's key.
Yeah. I think he had like Thanksgiving with them when he was touring the country and stuff. Anyway, the columnist added that the person should not be judged for having sex with her cousin. So I wanted to know, like, what does the law say about this? First off, T, I'll let you be the columnist.
Okay.
How do you feel about this? I'm assuming you have extended family that you don't see.
No, fortunately, I guess, I don't have any attractive cousins, so I've never been in this situation. So I don't know.
Big difference between being our age and being like young with raging hormones, too.
Very true. Very true. I know it's inherently wrong. I know it's.
But is it?
Well, incest is supposedly wrong. However, if if you believe into that whole Bible thing, we all came from Adam and Eve, so you can figure it out from there.
Yeah.
I guess technically we all have the same bloodline, but I digress.
Yeah.
So, at what point is it, fucking your sister or your mom, is that worse than your
Way
cousin?
worse.
Well,
way worse.
okay, but why?
Because it just is.
Okay, but does it matter if it's okay if you can't fuck your first cousin? Can you fuck a second cousin? Can you fuck a third cousin? Like, where is there a line on where that ends? For the most part,
I don't think there's many people who would say, like, I didn't think it was that weird when Isis said, I got this one cousin, man. Fuck, she's hot. And I remember being at a big family reunion. I can remember one big family reunion. Like I said, forever. My family was spread out everywhere, so it's not my immediate family hung out. That's it. Like the idea of hanging out with cousins and uncles and aunts, like no, just didn't happen. Like I said, early on when we were really young, maybe a little bit, but not really after that.
Sure.
Very rare.
Well,
just didn't see them. So I don't know anybody that would have this open conversation and go, look, man, I've really been thinking about banging my mom. And like, there's nobody would go, Well, let's discuss.
Yeah, right.
But
Well,
you can
why do
have
you
the
think that?
discussion about a cousin.
Sure. Well, I mean, for the most
Certainly
part,
a second and third cousin.
unpopular opinion is, for the most part, whatever I believe, whatever is between two consenting adults should be fine.
Yeah.
Overall. Okay. And when you talk about incest, the real issue, I think, is muddying up the bloodlines and having, fucking 5 fucking thumbs, whatever.
Yeah.
Right? And it's supposed to make
Blindness.
you all
There's
fuck-
all kinds of
Yeah,
shit.
it's supposed to be, the problem. So if you're practicing safe sex and not procreating and having, retarded babies.
It's interesting that you bring that up, as a matter
Okay.
of fact.
So where's the line? I mean, is it just procreation? Is it actually sex? Does do handies in the fucking back seat count? Like where?
If you're getting handies in the back seat, I don't think it ends there.
Well,
I don't think you
probably
get
not.
one handy and move on.
Right. I'm curious. I don't know.
Well, many surviving children of the couples have physical or mental problems: blindness, deafness, blood ailments, kidney failure, lung, liver ailments.
These are incestual babies. Is this what you're saying?
Yes, cousins.
Okay.
Heart, kidney failure, myriad complex neurological or brain
I
disorders.
wonder why that is. Because it's just not enough variation in the
DNA.
In the DNA.
Probably.
Interesting. But
So
okay.
so I was like, what does the law say about this?
Yeah.
So this article, OK Magazine, I think is a UK magazine. At least the columnist is.
Yeah.
It's been legal in marrying first cousins, I believe, has been legal. Cousin marriages have been legal in the UK for over 400 years.
Okay.
Okay. And I thought that was a blue blood thing,
So does that make
but
it?
it's not.
Does that mean it was never illegal, or at some point did they legalize it? If it's been legal for over 400 years,
It was probably just rampant. And they're like,
I was
well,
gonna
what are we
say,
going to do?
yeah, I mean, like if you go back 400 years,
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
were there even laws back then? You know what
Right.
I mean?
Yeah, there were, and lawyers and all that kind of shit 400 years ago. I was looking up blue bloods because I always thought that was like when you talk about royalty,
Keep your lineage alive.
right? And there's a lot of incestual stuff, but no, you know where blue bloods comes from? It comes from royalty, that kind of stuff where the lower class citizens tended to have darker skin. So the fairer skin showed the veins more.
Okay.
Blue veins, blue
blue
bloods.
blood. Oh, okay.
Isn't that interesting?
It is.
That's kind of where that comes from.
Gotcha.
Yeah. If you dig a little deeper. Now, so
I learned today.
we're learning shit. Now you're going to learn some more shit. Some of this might surprise you, as a matter of fact. So
right.
in Michigan, first cousins.
Okay.
If you're on the fence wondering, because we know somebody quite well, actually, that married their first cousin.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's fine. We can talk about it later.
Yeah. You'll be like, oh, yeah, no shit. I forgot about that. They're since divorced. Didn't have kids for those reasons.
Smart.
Yeah. Not originally from the country necessarily.
Okay.
Anyway, first cousins in Michigan cannot marry legally.
Okay.
They can legally. Fuck though.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's no law against actually banging, but
Nope.
they can't legally get married. So is there?
And first cousins, once removed, can legally marry in Michigan.
I need clarification on what's the once removed thing. Like first cousin, second cousin.
Yeah, that's what
and
they
once removed. Like what is that? What does that entail?
Yeah. So when you get down the line, second and third cousin,
That's what I'm asking you.
Yeah.
What is a second cousin?
your cousin has kids, and then you have kids, and so that would be your second cousin.
Okay.
Shit like that. I know it gets weird.
No, I'm just legit asking.
Now,
Not that I have a hot second cousin, but
shockingly, okay. So I'll ask you, California. What do you think their laws are?
for the record, second cousin, a grandchild of a grandparent's sibling.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it's
Yeah.
pyramid. Okay, got it. I was just clarifying for my own.
California. What would you guess?
I bet they can marry.
They could marry and fuck.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you, yeah.
What would you say?
It'd be weird if they could marry but not fuck.
Mississippi.
I think it's encouraged.
That's what I would have thought. In Mississippi, it is illegal to marry or fuck your first cousin.
Really?
Yeah.
Now,
it might be one of those like olden day rules that they just look away from.
still, what? So I'm curious I understand, like, you can't marry because you have to get permission to get married.
By who?
I mean, well, like,
The state?
yeah, you have
mean?
to get paperwork. I mean, like, it has to be.
I've never done it, so I don't know.
Well, right. I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's not like, we're married. You like, to officially be married, it has to be
Like in Vegas, though,
documented.
when people run off to Vegas.
Yeah, you still have to get a marriage license and shit.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
okay.
it has to be official. It's not like just,
God, I
do.
fuck, I haven't thought about this. I came close to marrying in Vegas.
Yeah?
Yeah. Amy and I were fucking hanging out there and was like, we should just do that. That'd be fucking hilarious. We were drinking. And I don't know why we just like got off on a different tangent and
Dodge that bullet.
Jesus Christ, can you imagine?
Right?
Yeah.
Hey, you'd probably get palimony.
Mississippi.
Illegal to fuck and marry.
No. Missouri. I'm sorry. Missouri. Again, I was going to say encouraged as well.
Yeah.
No marry, fine to fuck.
Okay.
Montana.
But again, like, that's what okay to fuck. Like, is this like a...
They say
like a rape,
sexual relations. I'm just saying.
No, I understand it. But I mean, like, if somebody finds out about it, like, can you be... If it's consensual, right? It's not like it's a, molestation thing or a rape or against their will or anything like that. But if two, consenting cousins do the fucking and somehow they find out about it, they can arbitrarily be charged with cousin fucking?
Yeah. Yeah, some places. Nevada. No marry, no fuck.
Okay.
So if you're in Nevada, which is weird, where prostitution's legal.
Yeah. Well, they don't want to, hamper the business.
Yeah, maybe.
They
But
don't
if
want
you're
any
in
other
Nevada,
fucking aside pay for.
yeah. But if you're in Nevada and they find out you're fucking your cousin, it's not. Now I don't know if that's a $15 citation. I don't know how seriously they take it.
Not sure.
But if you don't stop and now you're a multi-time offender, I mean, eventually at some point,
Yeah.
maybe they throw the book at you and you're doing 5 years for banging your cousin.
You didn't look up to see what the
Penalties were?
penalties were for this?
No, I didn't. Because it took forever to look up all the states.
Fair.
New Hampshire, no marry, can fuck. New Jersey, first cousins can marry and fuck.
Okay. I think we get it. I think there's going to be a variance between the...
New Mexico, New York. What do you think about New Mexico? I know it's international, but...
New Mexico, I'm going to go... it's so arbitrary. Who cares? I'm going to go marry and fuck.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
New York, same.
Well, that's the...
North Carolina can marry and fuck as long as not double first cousins.
What is double first cousins?
Yeah. Is that like double secret probation?
I don't know.
Both sets of grandparents in common. So that means your tree doesn't fork at all.
Oh, right. Oh,
Right.
Wow. Oh, wow.
So both your grandparents are the same. So as long as you're not double cousins, they're like, all right, at some point we got to nip this.
That's basically like brother and sister.
I know. I thought that was so weird. North
Double
Carolina.
cousins are first cousins, but twice. They share both sets of grandparents. This can happen when both parents of one double first cousin are also the siblings of parents of another double first cousin. It can happen when two siblings meet and have offspring for two other... All right, it's like math. Dude.
Yeah, I know. It gets weird. I didn't
Makes
even know
my fucking brain
double.
hurt.
I didn't know double first cousins was a thing.
I didn't either.
North Dakota, nope. Ohio, can't wed, can fuck. Oklahoma, same. Oregon, same. Pennsylvania, same. Rhode Island, no problem. You can fucking marry. South Carolina, marry and fuck. South Dakota, no marry, no fuck, no live together.
Oh, what if, it's just a cost thing? No cohabitation, huh?
No.
No matter what?
Nope.
What if you're taking care of a sick grandmother? I mean, what if you're just...
Well, don't fuck her, first
Well,
off, for sure. That goes without saying.
I mean,
but
so no living together. Like,
yeah.
But I mean, I understand that, like,
South Dakota must have had such a problem. They're like, no, we're just living together. It's like, no. Bullshit.
you know what you're doing.
You know what? No, I'm sorry. You guys can't be trusted for shit. You can't marry. No, you can't fuck. And no, you can't even live together anymore.
Yeah. We've been falling for that for too long, and
Yeah.
these babies keep dying. Like, nope, it's it.
We're tired of fucking 10-fingered fucking one-handed kids. You know what? No, you can't live together. You can't be
No
trusted.
marry, no fuck, no living together, and no being in the back seat at the same time.
You can't even say we're going to cut off holidays if you don't fucking knock it off. Yeah, you
No
can't.
movies.
Tennessee, of course.
Oh,
you
sure.
can marry and fuck. Colorado, marry and fuck. Connecticut, same. Texas,
I don't care.
no marry,
Okay.
no fuck,
Okay.
no live together.
Oh,
So
okay.
Texas must have had a problem too.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. Utah, only if cousins. So you can marry your first cousin only if they are 65 or older,
Okay. Well, then maybe they figure they'll take the fucking aspect out of it.
or
Or you're not, okay, that's fine. You're not going to have any kids, so if you want to get married at that point, go ahead.
so 65 and older,
Yeah.
or 55 plus with one of you being totally infertile.
So it is a kid thing.
It's a kid
Totally
thing.
a kid thing.
Totally a kid thing.
Oh, man.
Wisconsin, only if the woman is 55 plus. So they're basically going with the Don Lemon here.
As long as the eggs are dried up.
Yeah, no prime. So if they're going with the Don Lemon law,
Yeah.
where a woman's got to be out of her prime. If you're out of your prime and you're just a fucking, barren womb, it's just a fucking old cobweb at this point. Fine, you can fuck whatever family member you want. We don't care.
Yeah.
Just don't bring another generation of that shit in.
Please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, and this sort of makes sense. If you think about when they first, cloned. Remember Dolly the sheep? Mm-hmm. The problem with cloning animals is they get dumber the more you go. It's the same thing with cousin fucking.
Multiplicity.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Duh. You just turn into a whole lot of duh as you go further down the road.
Yeah. I was impressed. My my uncle that just passed, he'd worked for this guy, uber rich, for a long time.
Yeah.
I said many wives, many
When you say
girlfriends.
uber rich, you mean like
rich,
ridiculous.
like rich, like houses in Beverly Hills, Palm Springs, so,
Yeah.
all like rich. But he is well into his 80s right now, and his latest ex-wife is a. I mean, she might not be 30 yet.
Oh.
I mean, somewhere in there. I think she's Colombian.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he has a 5-year-old son. He is 89 right now with a 5-year-old son. He has a son and a great grandson the same age.
Ooh.
So of course everybody's like,
bless him.
"Oh, God bless him." So of course everybody was like, you might want to do a little DNA test on that one, dude. That one's probably not yours." Sure as fuck, it's his. Good little Juan Pablo. Is absolutely his.
And he's the one that just died?
No.
That's
it was
his,
my uncle's
his
boss. Yeah,
boss.
that he
Yeah,
worked
yeah.
for forever, 50 plus years. So he had seen it all.
Yeah, I know this is like
But I would have never
Mick
thought
Jagger.
I would have never thought 85-year-old sperm would fucking
yeah,
swim
dude.
upstream and make a fucking baby.
It does. We've seen it time and time again. Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't know that because you got to be careful. You do. You don't want to Mick Jagger it because Mick Jagger was 78 when he had a kid.
Yeah.
But at least it's like, okay, you're going to be dead when the kid's 5, but at least you're going to leave the kid $500 million.
Right.
Like, I'd be fine if my dad died when I was 5, as long as he left me $500 million.
Yeah, it's a good kind.
Billion.
It's a
And I
decent
with a B,
trade-off.
not a million. Billion. It's a fair trade-off. If you're a leader of industry and you're worth hundreds of millions of dollars, whatever. Yeah. You get to have those stories of what a pimp your fucking dad was. What a great story. Yeah, you're raised without a father, but whatever. Things could be worse.
You'll be fine.
You'll be fine. You'll be just fucking fine. Find a way to make it work. You'll have family looking out for you. They'll have access to the old man's fortune to raise you. So you'll be raised just fine. And who wants a fucking 90-year-old dad running around with you anyways? It's creepy and
I
weird.
don't think he's going to be running around anywhere.
No.
Rolling around with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was shocking to me.
Yeah.
So even their 55 plus was my point.
Yeah.
Is no guarantee.
Yeah.
Nice try with the age barrier there.
Yeah, right.
This part of the show is going to be brought to you by Janet Davis Cleaners on Woodward and Berkeley. It's family owned since 1938. They offer free pickup and delivery. And they use only the best environmentally friendly cleaning methods, meaning it's guaranteed odor free. They have an intact button guarantee, so no broken buttons for you. It's a full service dry cleaners, casual clothes, work clothes, wedding gowns, sheets, comforters, duvet covers, tablecloths, and more. Visit janetdaviscleaners.com or call them at 248-543-0340. Mention TDC and get $20 off your first home pickup for new customers.
God, I got a text or a DM.
Ooh, somebody slid into your DMs?
Yeah, not someone I'd want to slide into my DMs necessarily. It was from Aaron, who's one of D-Mac's guys. And,
What?
Blunts.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Who's buddies with Snoop Dogg.
Mm-hmm.
And Snoop Dogg loves Blunts because he's a fucking world champion roller.
Yep, blunt roller.
This dude can roll a blunt better than anyone on planet Earth. Like literally wins competitions, and Snoop Dogg's done videos on him and shit. But anyway, he sent me a message yesterday, and at one point we were trying to get Snoop Dogg over here, and he was like, "Dude, we can get a super discount." I mean, Snoop Dogg to get anywhere is $250,000, and we were looking at a severe discount, and he'd do a lot more. But anyways, and not about this. But anyway, he sends me a message yesterday. Hey, brother, hope you're doing well. This little sweet girl is my little cousin who has Down syndrome. Post was made by a cheerleading coach on the squad. She's since been fired. I know you have a lot of reach. Yeah, not really. If you wanted to post this, if not, I completely understand. Thank you for your time. And it was one of those that's like a big long, what do you call that? Like a address. Can you see all the shit there?
Yeah. Just the link.
The link.
Yeah,
is,
okay.
And so I've gotten these before where it comes from someone you know.
Yeah, there's going to be a big black guy with a fucking giant dick sitting on the edge of the bed.
Exactly. Or it's going to drain your bank account. As soon as you click on it, it's going to have access to everything you've ever done. And, and so I was like, fuck, man. I didn't recognize it. And I'm like, shit. I don't know if I should click on that. I'm like, well, this is really Aaron. Mm-hmm. And so I click on it. And it's this video, this TikTok video from this coach, this cheerleading coach. So just wondering what makes a cheerleader. I was a cheerleader in school my whole life. Also, I've coached cheerleading for 10 years. So just know that I know exactly what makes a cheerleader a cheerleader. For one, you have to be able to speak, to say the cheers. For two, you have to be able to do the movements with all the other girls. You have to have a memory and a comprehension to even know what the next cheer is. You have to be able to follow directions so that you know when to stand here and be quiet. And you know when to start a cheer and do what you're supposed to do. Not have your parents sit down there with you the whole time as you lay on the ground and run around the track, out on the football field. A skirt and bow doesn't make you a cheerleader, dumb fucks.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, and then, so I hit...
Oh, all right. We're going to get some copyright infringement up on this bitch.
Yeah, so anyways, I play it.
Yeah.
And another one, I'm not going further in detail, but I'll just say some people want their child to do certain things so bad that they'll put these kids in these sports that they have absolutely no capability of doing just so they can say, my kid's a cheerleader. They don't worry about the coaches that put in the work to have the team look good and be all together. They don't think about the kids who work hard and are doing what they are supposed to do to look good, only to not look good because kids that don't know what they're doing are there bringing the squad down. Bottom line, if this is if your child is not ready for sports for a number of reasons, it's not fair to the coaches or the other kids on the team to put that child in sports until they're ready. If you want them to do such activities, you should get them the help they need so that they are able to do these things.
Okay.
Now, as this video plays, they're showing a little girl. And I cry looking at this.
Yeah.
This little kid is so fucking adorable. She's got Down syndrome, as Aaron said. And
If I saw the video, I would have guessed that. I bet
You would have. Yeah.
there will be signs.
There are some features about the Downs kids, and we've talked about this before.
Sure.
That community, but I've been on record many years in a row now saying, if I had
Number
a kid,
one is the smile.
yeah, and the eyes, there's something
That's
to
number
them.
two.
You feel like you've seen them before, but I feel like they're the happiest people on earth.
Now, is this something I can pull up and like play?
Yeah, I could send it to you, but I don't know. When I do that, I send it to you,
Yeah, I know, but I'm not.
but I don't know how to just pull it up.
Okay,
Anyway, we can try to do that.
no big deal.
So, anyways, I'm looking at this picture of this little girl, and she is, God damn it, sorry, I don't mean to. There she is on her little cheerleading squad.
Oh Jesus!
What is that?
I went to TikTok and it just automatically launched a
Oh.
thing as soon as the thing opened up. I was trying to just see if I could.
So here she is on her cheerleading squad, and this girl is probably, I don't know, 7, 6,
Okay.
8.
That little,
She's
yep.
a little fucking girl, and she can't be any cuter. You've got the squad around her, and she's holding what are those big megaphone things?
I think that's a megaphone.
No, it's not a megaphone, but it's the
Yeah.
thing
We
they
all know.
scream in. Yeah, she's holding one of those, and look, there she is on her little softball team.
Aw.
Look at that kid.
Okay.
Look at that kid. Look at that Roops.
Wonder what her batting average is.
She's wrestling, and I'm telling you, she's like kicking this little boy's ass.
Yep. No, I watched the video.
You did?
Yeah.
Isn't it fucking the most
Yeah.
adorable thing
I didn't
you've
realize
ever
it was
seen?
all the same chick.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the same little girl in literally every sport.
Oh, wow.
She's a
Okay.
cheerleader. She's on the
That's-
softball
actually,
team.
I watched the video and I didn't realize that it was all her. I thought that was just all different kids.
No,
okay.
no. This is Blunt's fucking cousin. And then he sends. I said,
Oh,
dude,
that's okay.
yeah,
Gotcha.
this is his cousin. And so he sends me this, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? That's the sweetest little girl I've ever seen. What a monster. And so then he starts sending me pictures of him with her. Mm-hmm. And so here he is with her, when she's probably 2.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy fuck, bro. Here she is on the cheerleading squad. And yes, of course, you can pick out which one has Down syndrome. She can't be any cuter. The other kids on the team look thrilled to have her there.
Sure.
What is wrong with people?
Now,
Honest
first of
to
all,
God, it
this
broke my
chick
heart
is
reading that.
Yeah, this chick is an absolute twat and an elitist cunt.
Not the girl with Down syndrome.
No, the coach, the one
Okay.
that was rightfully fired. But what I will say is, now, first of all, every team and every coach, gets to define themselves of what they want to do. Now, to have someone like that on the sidelines cheering for a game, which now cheerleading has multiple levels. Okay.
Yeah.
So having them on the sideline, cheering for a team, doing all that, fantastic. Love it. you
Yeah.
know. Now, will that correlate to, national championship cheer competitions? Probably
First
not.
off, who gives a shit? But I understand your
right.
point.
So, no, probably not. But is that what's really important to you? Now, let's just say, I'll be devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
Only for the fact of, so let's say this is a qualified, competition level cheer team. And for the feel good story of the year, that we let that girl be on the cheer team and all that. Well, now the other, let's say 10 girls in the squad, when they go to the competition and are competing to be national champion, elite caliber team, they probably don't get that chance because of the ability of this person. Now, is it
Don't you think though that they have tryouts when you're talking about that level? When you're talking about an elite,
all right? Well, okay. So let's say this is a defending national championship team, right? Last year they won it. This year they're excited. They're going to go back and they're going to try and defend their title this year. But now they get another new member onto the team. Now I'm totally being devil's advocate here because I'm all for this girl
I know you
participating
are,
and all
which
that.
is- yeah,
right.
Okay.
I'm totally all for this girl participating.
I'll give you the rope to hang yourself.
Of course,
please, by all means.
No, but so it is it fair to the other 10 girls that now maybe won't be able to go to that level and do what they wanted to do for that girl to be on the team?
Two things.
Okay.
We went to a high school that was a football powerhouse, right? We went to Harrison High School, legendary Coach Sutter, Coach Harrington, and they were constantly in the national or the state championship conversation, right? Very, very good football school. There were 100 kids on that roster, 24 of which started or played any significant time. That they all thought they were awesome. They all fucking walked around with their jerseys on and thought they were the shit.
Yeah.
We played athletics, whether intramural or just pick up shit with most of those kids, and we'd smoke them. They were on the football squad in name only, right?
True.
A lot of them were super unathletic, but in high school, you let anyone on the team. You want to go out for the football team, you might never sniff the field, or maybe you make the field. You get on the field in a blowout situation. So first off, that's something where easy to fix. Obviously, a kid with less ability, and I'm not talking special needs, I'm just talking unathletic fucking high school kid that wants to say he's on the football team. Fine. You let him in a meaningless minute of a blowout. You let all those kids, you take all the starters out, you let all these kids rotate in, get a couple snaps, their parents get pictures, whatever. This little girl that we're talking about, Blunt's cousin, is fucking 6, 7. These are not girls going to national championships.
Yeah, and this is absolutely not specific to this situation.
Yes,
This is
which is what makes this
generalities.
so egregious. Now, this cunty bitch.
So this was specifically about her.
It had to be, and in fact, in one of
now I'm piecing this all together.
Sorry if I didn't explain this well enough.
Yep.
In the video, it's got like little facts about it. So it's got her post, and they're playing the song, and then they're showing pictures of her. There's little video snippets of her wrestling or playing softball or on the cheer squad.
Yep.
And I could totally picture this. What a proud moment that would be for any parent of a kid. Of course, you would want your child to have every opportunity. And I've
inclusion is the most important thing.
And I have changed my opinion on a lot of this. I was certainly more of a smartass in my earlier days, and I still joke about the kid who gets the handoff in the football game. Everybody fake tackles him, and it's like, let's make this real. Let's light this kid up.
Yeah, let him get to the 5 and blow him up.
Really give him the experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I still find that funny, obviously on some level,
Of course.
but especially when they're highlighting it every year on SportsCenter and acting like this is some original story. But I get it for that kid, and you can see the kid in the electric wheelchair getting wheeled into the end zone, and the seeing his face explode and light up it will bring tears to anyone's eye. There's no doubt about it.
Right.
And so for that little girl, I think it's devastating that any coach, parent, I just growing up, I didn't want to believe that any teacher would talk shit about you away from school. Any nurse would joke about your body when you went to see them. And it sucked later in life when it was like, yeah, you're living in a fantasy.
Absolutely.
If you think teachers aren't talking shit about their students, if you think nurses aren't talking about the pindick that walked in or the fatso that came in earlier, they are.
Of course.
They are. Now,
People
people
are shit.
People are shit.
No.
You wouldn't think that's going on. And one of the comments that pops up on this video says that girl, this little girl, and I'm not sure her name. I don't know if Blunt's told me. That little girl was the daughter of this cheerleading coach's boyfriend.
Oh, really?
Which is like,
Oh,
well,
jeez.
don't hold back, ma'am.
Tell me how you really feel.
What the fuck would her comments have been?
I don't know the context on that, and for the most part, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion on some level, and like I said, there are obviously various levels to this, and just like, okay, to have that feel good moment of putting somebody in and having that for their experience. Awesome, but you're not going to do that with 2 minutes left in a tied game at the state championship. You know what I mean?
Of course not.
Right. So it's not,
and it's something probably usually cleared long before the game is played between coaches and players. And,
right. So
and they're terrible actors.
yeah,
So
this elite twat thinks that cheerleading, and she's probably that's her claim to fame. That's her identity. She's still, I have this. I was a
cheerleader my whole life.
Right. Congratulations, bitch.
Another profession that will hopefully be wiped out in the near future, and we'll all look back in shame.
Oh, I know.
You know what I mean?
Keep them. I like them.
So do I. But why do you like them?
What? Because they're hot and they wear little skirts.
Exactly.
Except now there's getting so many dudes. It's getting weird. So.
Exactly. But that's why. Why do we like the Cowboys cheerleaders? We're not obviously talking about the 6-year-old fucking cheer squad in the local JV league. We're talking about the Cowboys cheerleaders. What is it? It's the fucking hiked up mini skirts, the knee-high boots, the fucking scrimpy top and the titties hanging out. And we all go, ugh. Yeah, we get it. We all understand. But at some point in society will come a day when it's like,
but see, it's got a special place in my heart, though. I was always, because I've played football my whole life.
Yeah.
And I go back to Rockets, Farmington Rockets.
Dude, I was fucking Livonia Eagles.
There you go. And
I get it.
The cheerleaders, we had Rockets cheerleaders back then. And so those girls went
through
all the way through.
Yeah.
They were my cheerleaders all the way through school. It's kind of special to me. So it's not just,
You saw Jenny Brockhouse as a fucking third grader.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, so anyway, it's not just that it's this fantasy thing or whatever, but I dig the cheerleaders.
I get it,
for
man.
that. It's not just a sexual thing for me.
Right.
And
there's some athletic. I mean, dude, Ryan has been very clear about it. The most concussions across sports is cheerleading.
Yeah, well, because they don't catch them enough.
Well, I'm just saying, when you think soccer is more so than football, okay? I know football gets all the press.
Yeah.
Soccer is more so than football, and cheerleading is more so than soccer. And I said that on the show one day, and people blasted me with email going, bullshit. And Ryan went, you're right.
Yeah.
Trust me. With the Blink TBI, stuff, we're doing
data, all the stuff.
The data we're collecting and the research we're collecting, that is where the most concussions occur, is in cheerleading.
Per capita.
I still don't know if I totally believe that, but I believe Ryan. He's never led us down a path that is not believable.
No, I absolutely agree. And that's also, it's probably not in sheer numbers. It's a percentage thing, right?
Yeah.
It's not. There's probably more in soccer than cheerleading. Total numbers would be my guess, but there's a lot less cheerleaders than soccer players. So on average, it's a higher percentage of cheerleaders that get concussed than soccer players.
But there's cheerleading. There's not. Soccer doesn't have cheerleaders, I don't think.
No.
Although we did have some at Harrison when we played varsity soccer.
There's one cheerleading team. It's not like there was a soccer cheerleading team.
I know, but they were there. Obviously basketball, obviously football. But we definitely had them, especially when we got into states or anything like.
No, I'm just talking about how many people were on your soccer team.
I don't know, 30.
Okay,
25.
Okay, and there was 12 cheerleaders.
Right.
So right there is your percentage. Even if you had the same number of concussions in that year, there was only 12 girls getting those 5 concussions compared to 30 guys getting it. And then every team, so it extrapolate out from there. Plus, soccer goes on to semi-pro, pro. It's
right.
There's just more. So that's what I think it is. I don't think it's pure numbers. I think it's percentages, the higher percentage, per capita type.
Going back to the story of Aaron's cousin.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's fine. I just don't understand, and maybe it's people that typically don't have an outlet to express. Like, that's on some level I can understand having that conversation among maybe a certain group of friends that are like equally kind of asshole-ish, and it's like, you're not believing I have to deal with, and you're telling your cunty friends all about, it. And on some level, I suppose, if selfishly, I can understand where a coach would go, kind of what you were talking about, like, I've only got these girls for a couple of years, and I work really hard in the offseason to come up with these routines that, let's be honest, 99% of them are not going to any fucking elevated level of state cheerleading championships.
Right.
That shit's irrelevant. But to go, I work my ass off, and these other girls work their asses off, and then we get this one child in here that doesn't belong, and But then I think about the girl who wants nothing more than to be liked and included, just like every fucking child her age.
Yeah.
And, you know, it paints such a heartbreaking story of a parent standing there. I can picture it, you know, laying down, making eye contact with their child, whatever their disability may be, and working with them personally to remember, you know, at this point we go hands up, and it means the parent is working with that child behind the scenes, off hours, just trying to give their kid an advantage and an involvement in something. And you can tell how extremely unbelievable these parents are, that you've got a girl with Down syndrome in cheerleading, in wrestling, in softball. Like I said, that is an overwhelming schedule.
Now that I realize that was all her in that video, is amazing.
It's incredible.
I thought it was just the clips of Down kids, you know, doing all this. No idea that was all the same kid. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah. As far as I know, I mean, that's what he sent me.
Yeah, I look at it again, and you know, I was just kind of watching it and just thought that's what it was, because it was, like I said, it was wrestling, it was baseball, it was. I'm like, okay, well, that's just like different kids, you know, in that same situation.
But to finish my point, what? So even if you're comfortable enough with 3 of your shitty girlfriends over drinks at the bar, having this like woe is me conversation about, you know, I work my ass off in the off season to come up with routines for the girls, and then this throws a wrench into it all, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, but you're going to post that on social media where not only do you run the risk of someday that little girl is going to fucking know that her coach was probably talking about her when they get older and see this. And at a minimum, the parents of that little girl are going to see this. Like,
well, no,
it is so fucking
at a minimum, the world is going to know
nightmarish.
you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? That you're outing yourself as a horrible, horrible person.
How clueless do you have to be to not know that's coming back to you?
I think that answers your own question. I mean, you're just so self-absorbed. You just are this disconnected, elitist twat.
Yeah.
That, you know, thinks that cheerleading is so special and elite, that somehow this
with
is
7-year-olds.
Yeah, like so. It speaks volumes about her, and I'm glad she was blown out.
Yeah, you're there to make sure that these children have the best experience they can. Right, that's your job,
and that's what it comes. I mean,
your job is not to win state titles. Your job is not to not for the most part.
Yeah.
Now, you know, obviously there are situations, but by and large, your job. We were not going to win a bunch of state titles in varsity soccer at Harrison High School, right? Our coach Glenn Bruin was there to fucking make sure we practiced.
Is that Marty's dad?
Huh?
Is that Marty's dad?
Maybe. I don't know Marty.
Oh yeah. She was gone before you got there.
Yeah.
Good looking.
Could have been. Glenn was a good looking coach.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
But he, you know, we did our drills and we fucked off, and
Rob was a brother.
Maybe. Dude, I was only there for a couple of years.
I know.
So, you know, but he would just run some drills, and they're way more advanced with it nowadays. But, you know, it would have been awful if he would have fucking made a post about, you know,
pathetic.
What a piece of shit, you know. Not even, you wouldn't even have to name names, and everyone would know who you're talking about.
Right.
You know, if it was, you know, the lack of talent of some of these guys, they shouldn't be on a fucking freshman team, let alone a varsity team. You'd be like, fuck. Yeah. You know, it's just incredible.
Yeah. I mean, any of these kids that are unique in any way, whether it be an affliction, a birthmark on their face, you know, whatever it is, anybody that's different, that's an outsider, there's nothing more important and influential to them than inclusion.
Yeah.
Than feeling normal, than feeling, you know, not for some time, you know, not being that different kid, you know, and that means more than anything.
Yeah.
It's what people need the empathy that people need. You know.
And if you don't think that those kids, and you're a girl dad, you know, you've got a couple daughters. You obviously were, I think you were in their lives when they were 6.
Yeah, most of the time.
So you remember what it was like for them. I've got, you know, a 6-year-old niece in Mad Dog, and Mad Dog's the fucking best. But she's at that age where Aaron's cousin is, where they know when people are talking about him, when people are like, Mad's at that age where boys are picking on her, And what does that mean? They have a crush. She's an adorable girl.
Yeah.
She is. She's getting love letters now from boys in class. My sister sends pictures of them. They're fucking hilarious. You know, I like you, circle if you like me, like that kind of shit.
Check yes
it
or no.
hasn't changed. It has not changed. It's hilarious.
That's old standby.
Yeah, it's the shit. The stuff has not changed in all these years. It's like I don't know who's teaching these kids how to do this, but they all just inherently know because they're still doing the same thing. I'll show you pictures later.
Okay.
But Mad comes home because this boy is making fun of her. He's poking her. He's doing all these things, and Mad doesn't want to go to school the next day. She's crying. She's upset, and so Kristen says, "Honey, this usually means that a boy likes you, okay? When a boy has a crush on a girl at your age, they react in ways they don't know how to express themselves, and so they, claim that you got cooties, and they push you or they make fun of you.
Yeah, giving you any sort of attention.
Exactly. And so Mad Dog makes the mistake of going to school, and then it further comes out that this boy's mother is friends with Chris, my sister, and says, "Oh yeah, little Nathan or what, I don't know what his name is, has a crush on Mad Dog. All the boys do, and so that's why he's not allowed." And so she even and Mad doesn't believe this when my sister says, "Usually this means boys have a crush, blah blah blah," and so
it's hard to understand at that point,
right? So Mad doesn't believe
why did he
it.
punch me?
Yeah,
because he thinks you're cute.
And so she's still upset. She's crying, and she doesn't want to go to school. And Kristen says, "Look, his mom talked to me and let me know that he's got a crush on you. It's no big deal. This is common for your age. So just know that he doesn't really not like," because Mad thought he didn't like her. And so she was upset that someone in class wouldn't like her. Not on a romantic level, but on a person-to-person friend level with little kids. Mad goes to school and immediately tells one of her girlfriends that this boy's mom told my mom that he has a crush, blah, and it turns into a whole thing. Kristen's like, Jesus fucking Christ. But anyways,
you gotta preface that with, hey, listen, don't say anything, but.
Which means they'll say something because they're dumb little kids. But the point is, even at that early age, these kids want nothing more than to be accepted. They want to be loved. They want to be liked. They want to feel special.
Exactly.
And
even the most normal of kids,
even the most adorable and
Yes.
the ones that are going to get the most attention from the boys.
Right.
We all remember those girls. Mad's going to be one of them. She just is.
Yeah.
She's fucking adorable. She's going to be one of those kids that gets more attention than she should, and we'll have to navigate that. It breaks my heart to think of a girl that absolutely requires a little special attention and a little help here and there. And those kids don't look like they have a problem with it. And just to think that there's a fucking monster that's supposed to be looking out for your best interests, it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know.
People are shit.
I know we say a lot of shitty things in jest on this show, but that truly fucking infuriates me. It just breaks my heart. You know what I mean? Like as big a dicks as we can come off, we really do have soft spots for a lot of the world's, especially people that can't do for themselves as much. And I've always felt that way. I always hated the bully. I always stuck up for the kid that got picked on the most in school. I could name names and I won't. But, I remember that girl on the school bus and boys throwing gum in her hair. I remember it. And it fucking killed me when I was 7, and 10. It bothered me, that much. Because I just felt awful for them. And, do better, people.
Do better.
Do better.
That's the goal. That's the hope.
Yeah. We don't really need to get into email today. I mean, it's just,
we probably should. Just
nothing going on,
We should do, just do a little housekeeping. But tidy up some loose ends.
Shut up, you.
Is there anything hanging out in the wind?
Nah,
Is there anything?
Not really.
I'm trying to think if there was anything we were waiting on answers for.
Not really. We should just wrap it up. Okay, fine. I got a couple emails.
Okay.
First, let's see here. I got this one texted to me.
All right.
On the whipped cream and strawberries, and everyone picked up on the whipped creams and strawberries.
Yeah.
For those that didn't listen to yesterday's show, I was saying about the waffle makers at hotels.
The Belgian waffle.
The Belgian waffles. And I was like, yeah, I love it. They got the whipped cream out. They got the strawberries out. And you were like, fucking 5 stars are you hanging out in?
I took exception with that. And
Yeah, you took hard exception to that. You were making fun of me first off for saying whipped creams and strawberries.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and everybody that emailed picked up on that. You dick. Thank you for that. On the whipped creams and strawberries, my experience is 50-50. I stay about 50 to 75 nights a year, and the majority offer the waffle maker, but very mixed on what they have to put on it. One recently had chicken to put on there.
Chicken and waffles.
Yeah.
Where were you? Atlanta?
Right? I don't know that one. That's from Gary.
Okay.
We'll save this one.
Well, don't be picking and choosing.
No. This has nothing to do with
okay.
that. It's more for E.
All right, gotcha. We'll say that one. I see. Yeah, that'll be free.
Yeah. Okay. Someone says strawberries and whipped cream. Mike, when you travel, do you have your bags taken to your room by the bellhop, your bed sheets turned, and slippers provided for you as you slip on your silk robe in the morning? Ash. Damn, is a chef with a pencil-thin mustache putting a dollop of whipped cream on your organic strawberries for you?
Just whipping your cream for you.
Must be nice to be part of that 1%. I'm with T-Roy. I get my strawberries from packets on the table when I travel, or the squeeze quarts that may have blueberries as well. Peace out, buddy. 4E. That's hilarious. What is he talking about? My strawberries from packets on the table?
I think like strawberry jam.
Oh, strawberry jam. Yeah, I think you're right. Let's see. Sorry, Walters, have to agree with T-Roy. I've never had whipped creams and strawberries in hotels.
Okay.
In hotels, just syrup and butter. Also, I found a flip-style waffle maker. Perhaps you can use the Amazon portal and scoop one up. That's from Karen. Thank you, Karen.
Karen, why would you do that, Karen?
Right? The type of people who stay at hotels with strawberries and whipped cream are the same who have attended a party at the Playboy Mansion, own a Nikki Sixx bass, and own an outfit Marshall Mathers wore in 8 Mile. We normal folk just get store brand Eggos and syrup. Okay, fuck all of you people.
I think the people have spoken on that one.
Yeah, we don't need more.
I'll take the dub.
By the way, Aaron, little known fact, I bet you didn't know this about Aaron. He is a hardcore juggler.
Is he really?
He is. I did an interview with the guy that wrote a book on ICP.
He's my old school hip hop guy.
Who?
Aaron. A-Train.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we do some things behind the scenes.
Dude, he's like K-Dog.
That most people
Like
wouldn't.
you never know
He
what
sends
you're
me
gonna
shit.
get.
He was like, I know you're the only one that'll get this.
Yeah, he's fucking knowledgeable in way too many areas. But yes, dude, he has. We found someone sent us a picture of him in full makeup.
Oh,
Like full Juggalo makeup. It was awesome. Awesome.
outstanding.
Yeah, like he goes to events, shows, the works.
Yeah.
He's legit, full on. A female ICP fan is.
A juggalette.
You learned that, yes. Correction on story, and this is from Aaron. A juggala is a Hispanic ICP fan. Are you sure it's not a juggalinix?
Juggalex.
Juggalix?
Juggalesse.
With that, if you would like to get to be part of the conversation, send us an email, walters@detroitcast.com. The rest of them, thank you to everybody that sent them in. I will we'll read over the coming days, but walters@detroitcast.com if you would like to be a part of that. Thank you, everybody, for hanging with us today. We'll be back tomorrow, and hopefully you'll join us then.